silence. Could it ever go wrong?
Hello, beautiful people. Aren't you glad you clicked on this video? Welcome to episode 4, finally. Just in time for the holidays, I'll be taking you on an empty tour walkthrough, my design process, and the before and after of our kitchen and entryway. Still New York City. For those of you who've been journeying with me on Instagram and here on this YouTube community, you know the last few weeks have been a whirlwind. Part of why I did not drop this episode is because I had to save some content for the recent media features. So let's catch up. Let me tell you what's been going on.
I've been down and out. Send the passion.
So the last few weeks, actually feels like months now, has been, like I said, a whirlwind. I have been, and it's a blessing, so no complaints. But this is, if you needed a sign for putting yourself out there, let me be your sign. Because as soon as I kicked off this design series, it really put me out there. And by having you guys view it, and for those who came across my profile on Instagram, pictures, and like some of the before and afters I did already, media companies reached out to me and wanted to feature me, 4 of them to be exact. Recently, as you guys know, the last few weeks, this condo has been featured on the Architectural Digest. I mean, a serious God dream. Like, my mind is still blown. Like I said, you put yourself out there, you feel like, like with my experience with my sister over the years running our online interior design business, I've been more on the operation side, but I've learned so much from her and our designers. And so bringing all my knowledge over the years and bringing it into my first home and really having that recognized by such a big media company like that was just like I said, a God dream, to be honest. So very, very grateful. Thank you to Zoe and Lori, who edited and covered the feature of our condo. So make sure you check it out. The link again is in my community section. And then also apartment therapy. For those of you who've been journeying with me, apartment therapy has literally featured all my apartments. My first studio in a brownstone here in Brooklyn. The first time Jeff and I lived together in our last apartment, which was like the mid-rise skyline view apartment that we had. And then now this home. So it's such a full circle moment. And, third time truly is a charm. So thank you to Adrian and everyone in the apartment therapy team. And again, for those of you who have not seen it, make sure to check it out. And then also Jeff dropped his homeware line. Very excited. For those of you who've seen it on episode 3, it included the lounge chair, the side table, and the concrete candles that you see in my episode 3 in our living room area. So for those of you who have supported so far, thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure to tag us, hashtag HOA Tribe, just for us to see the pieces in your home. And for those of you who have not seen it yet, it is linked in the caption below. So with all that said, let's take an empty tour of this kitchen so you know how we got here. I'm gonna go through some of the pros and cons so you guys kind of see where my thought process was when I was designing the space. All right, so if you guys remember from episode 3, as soon as you walk into the space, it's this one long open space, which essentially was 4 areas: the entry, kitchen, living room, and dining. And so I knew that one of the things I wanted to do was just to have a clear delineation between the spaces and to properly zone it. And again, as you guys saw in episode 3 with the living and dining, we decided to divide the space with this arch beam here. So originally the beam here was straight, and I wanted to kind of give it some architectural features by giving it a sense of character. Also, as you guys see behind me, we changed our original door, which was like I call it like a high school locker gray, to this terracotta, and I'm gonna get into the final look of that in a little bit. I did like that the kitchen was an L-shaped kitchen, so it gives it that kind of open, airy feel when you first walk in. But it was pretty plain, right? Just plain straight edges, all white with the chrome fixtures. We really wanted to bring some character into the kitchen. I did love that it was integrated kitchen. So like the fridge, freezer, the laundry closet, the dishwasher, like everything is behind a cabinet. The range hood on top of the stove, it's all behind the cabinet, which I love. Very European, by the way. My sister pointed it out. She was like, okay, the developers here were definitely European, because you don't see that too often here in America. Definitely not in New York City as much. You usually have open appliances. So I love how everything was integrated. That was a pro. So I knew I needed to bring some multifunction into the space by styling it to feel like an entryway where you can come in, put your coat in the closet, drop your keys, but also have that functionality in the kitchen area where you have extra countertop space with like a movable island, and just added character with the backsplash, more storage with a top cabinetry. These are all the things that were going through my mind when we looked at the open space when it was originally empty. All right, so let's get into designing so you guys see how everything came to life and some of the different products that I use to bring it to this final look that you see.
City lights.
All right, so let's get to designing. I'm starting off here with the empty space as I showed earlier. And like I mentioned, what bothered me the most, honestly, was the gray door. It just felt too, cold, sterile, very high school lockerish. I'm not a fan. I also didn't like this like chain closure. I just felt like it just felt flimsy and it wasn't really as sturdy as we wanted to. So replaced the color of the door with the terracotta orange from Lick Paint, as I mentioned earlier in my mood boarding episode, but still kind of kept the chrome fixtures just to tie in with the kitchen since everything is kind of seen from this view. I also wanted to add a light fixture here in this wabi-sabi organic shape to match the pendant light in the dining area. It's actually not a matching set, but it looks really similar. And I just love it. It really brought the space together. Also brought some light into this corner here so that when you first walk in or when you're actually leaving, it's good to have that sense of like welcome or that last look in the mirror that's in the corner here, just so it's like a warm light and very cozy when you first walk in. And so that was one of the first things we wanted to do to just bring some warmth and character into this corner here. Also from this view, as I mentioned earlier, one of the things I wanted to do was create functionality by adding extra storage. So as with any other space in New York, any chance you can add more storage while still keeping it stylish, you're definitely gonna take that. In the corner here, as you guys saw during the walkthrough, there is a open cabinetry which I loved in the natural wood. It gave the space some character, and I knew we would have to block it off a little bit if we wanted to add cabinetry. But it was worth it in this case because you can still do like a hidden style. So even though we would block half of this open cabinetry, it was nice to know that we can always kind of tuck things behind it and use this open space cabinetry as sort of a bar because we didn't want a bar cart in this space. So that this was the place where I was going to put drinks and cups and just different things that we can use when guests are around. All right, so in this space, just to style it up a little bit, put a little, faux pothos plants, add some cookbooks, and like I said, use it as just kind of like a bar with drinks and cups and things like that. But I knew I wanted some extra cabinetry at the top. We shopped around and decided to go with custom millwork mixed with IKEA. So the carcass of the cabinetry is from IKEA, and then we did some custom millwork around it to kind of blend with the kitchen and still give it that minimalist look as you see behind me here. And then time to bring in some character. I love Toronto tiles as I talked about in the mood board episode. And so because of that gap that's kind of in between the top cabinetry that we added and the backsplash as you guys see behind me, we added the Toronto tiles here. It had the whites, it had the grays, it had the burnt orange. So it really brings in the feel of the space to be a lot more warm and just to have some texture to it, as you guys see, and really loved how the way all of that turned out. And then overall here, functionality, multifunctionality, like I mentioned, was major key. So Facebook Marketplace is our best friend here in New York City. I went there to kind of see if I could find any type of like movable, functional storage type table to use in the space because we wanted extra countertop space, but also to use as kind of like an entryway console. So this table, as you guys see here, is movable. It has some storage space here on the side that allows us to put a little tray to put our keys, letters, throw some scents for when you first walk into the space, and just put extra items here. So it has storage on the side, and we found it on Facebook Marketplace. And I was very, very lucky to be able to find these natural wood stools from Home Depot, surprisingly. It looked like it came as a set, right? It looks like this is a set, but it's actually not. But it turned out really, really well. And like I said, it's been such a great addition to the kitchen because it gives that multifunctionality of an entryway console as well as an island table and gives that beautiful natural wood complement to the all white cabinetry. Also, wanted to bring a little bit more curves into the space. So Hawkins, New York is one of my favorite places to shop for like kitchen accessories. And I found this arched wood boards, chopping boards, and I just love them. I felt like they had that character, but still functional and very stylish. Of course, adding fruit bowls, just as like something last grab before you leave, or in this case, as you see here, we have our coffee machine. I'm more of a tea drinker. The coffee machine is really for Jeff. And then one of my favorite brands for kitchenware as well, or kitchen accessories, I should say, is Alive. It's not like a big deal to other people, but I really love having like stylish kitchen accessories And Alive is a brand that is from Australia. It's a woman-owned brand that has these beautifully scented dish and hand soap sets that just, really stylish. So if I blow this up, you guys can kind of see it a little bit more. It's like a cute dish and hand soap that's just like really cute. So got that set all the way from Australia because yes, I will be the one to get dish soap from Australia. And then just wanted to add, a few more kitchen accessories like oil dispensers and things like that. And again, the whole idea was to bring this all together by having this arch kind of like separate the space. So here you get to see how everything kind of came together from this view. When you're in the living room, when you're looking towards the kitchen, you get that feel that, okay, this is the entryway, it has this, terracotta door, the statement piece, and then has this beautiful light fixture. And you see this arch that divides the space. You have the additional storage with the top cabinetry that we added, as well as, even though we cut off, like I said, half of the open cabinetry, it still gives us space to tuck things in for a bar in our kitchen. Added accessories like this chopping board, fruit bowl, the dish and hand soap, and then just like oil dispensers and things like that. And because everything else is tucked behind cabinetry, it still has that minimalist look, but it has that organic minimalist look that still ties in with the West African and the Japanese feel to it. And again, this natural wood console table that has storage here was found on Facebook Marketplace, one of my favorites, and complemented by stools from Home Depot. So here's the final look of the mood board. Download it now in the link via the caption. And here's the final look of how it all came together. Thank you so much for stopping by, and let me know what your favorite detail is in the comments. See you in the next episode where we're going to take a look into the bathroom and some of the storage solutions in the space, including the laundry closet, which is like a gem here in New York City, and our coat closet, entrance closet. You kind of see how we brought that to life to really accommodate more storage space. Also, the bedroom, custom closet in the bedroom, very excited about that one. And eventually, probably in spring, we're gonna look at the rooftop because we ain't doing nothing with that. But it's gonna be way more than 5 episodes. I don't know why I said 5 episodes. I'm gonna use the next few episodes to really get deeper, dive into all the spaces in the condo. Thank you. Bye.